Hi, thanks so much for joining me. So today I have our Angela McAllister collection. It's basically folktales, folklore from around the world. And I want to start with my favorite one, which is the first one we actually bought. And it is A Year Full of Stories, 52 folk tales and legends from around the world, written by Angela McAllister. They're all written by Angela McAllister, but some of them, if not all of them, have different illustrators. So this one's Christopher Core. So it has like a New Year's story, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day. So you could grab this on those holidays and read those stories on those days, and then have other stories as well. Then it has like Christmas. Christmas, winter, has like Halloween. So yeah. So the first, I like how it has like the month with the nice illustration. So the first story in here is January 1st, New Year's Day, Father Frost, a Russian story. And so, yeah, so you have really nice illustrations and different stories. I never show the entirety of a book because, for copyright, and just like a little bit of a preview in case anyone's interested in these books. And yeah. Oh, The Little Red Hen. I love that one. Russian story, which is August 1st, says Llamas Day. Yeah, so it's really nice to use throughout the year. Kind of like instead of a daily anthology, just have something to do like a few times a month. And then at the end, it has like a description of a lot of the days, like the April Fool's Day, the origin, and tells you a little bit about it. So I really like that. It's a really beautiful in covers too. So that's the first one. And then the second one, I got it for my daughter to read the month of Halloween, which was October, but you don't have to do that. You can pick it any time of year, but it has like, kind of like autumn vibes to it. A world full of spooky stories, 50 tales to make your spine tingle. And then the illustrator is Madalena Andronic. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but I will link everything for you. And so this one is kind of by themed instead of by like the month. So this one's like Into the Woods, Down by the River, Farm and Field, Strangers at the Door. Sorry, I skipped one. Enchanted Places, and then back here, Home of the Spirits, Graveyard, Upon the Ocean and Under the Sea, Frozen Lands, in Castle Hall, and On a Mountain Path. And I also like how this one has like traditional, sorry you guys, I always have noise in the background. I have a 10-month-old, 12-year-old, a dog, a big dog, a little dog, and a cat. Okay. So then you have like Hansel and Gretel, traditional, like well-known fairy tales, folklore, and then you have like kind of ones that were lesser known to me. So you have Rumpelstiltskin, let's see, what other one is really well-known? Probably skipping a lot of them, but yeah, The Snake Prince. So here's Hansel and Gretel, a story from Germany. Hansel and Gretel is one of my favorites. It's so good. So I like how she picked Little Red Riding Hood from Germany. I like how she picks a mixture of more well-known folklore and then like less well-known, or you should say like just like more, frequently found in other stories. Yeah, really pretty. Okay, and then now I have a winter one. So this is our newest one that we received, and I think it's the newest one that she created because she has other ones too that we don't own. But this is A World Full of Winter Stories, 50 folktales and legends from around the world, illustrated by Olga Baumert, Baumert. So far this is the third different illustrator, but I would say they have like similar illustration styles. A lot of them, all of them. Maybe they did that on purpose because they wanted to keep it cohesive. And so, okay, so this one is, I gave this to my daughter December 1st of last year. I like to give her like, kind of like a book, like we do an Advent, a Christmas and picture book Advent. And I'll always do a video on that, you guys. So look at my channel if you want to see the previous ones. But I always do like a book Advent where we do a different winter/Christmas book every day of December. And this was the first book she received. So this one's also based on themes. The stories are grouped in themes: birds and beasts, tricks and troubles, ice and snow, quests and journeys, spirits and magic, and then Christmas. So the first one is from Asia. Asia, a story from Japan, The First Rabbit. So I like how it's based on location or like just different, things like that. The continent, Europe, and then from Sweden, and then Salt on a Magpie's Tail is the story. Oh wow, so this one has like 2-page color illustrated layout. That was nice. Europe, Tricks and Troubles, a story from the Netherlands, The Two Wishes, Father Frost. This one from South America, a story from Chile, Naha and the Great Cold. My daughter has pretty much read all of these. I actually haven't read this one. I think I might read it this December myself, since she already read it. We like to do these also as like read alouds, but now that she's like reading YA in middle grade and she reads so fast, she likes to just kind of read things on her own. Sometimes before I could even get to them, but when she was younger, we did a lot of these as read alouds at bedtime or during homeschool, because we homeschool. A Stage Full of Shakespeare Stories. Now this one's like more specific, because it's like Shakespeare based. So this is 12 Tales Retold, and then the illustrator is Alice Lindstrom. So I'm thinking that it's a theme. She probably likes to choose a different illustrator each time because there is a different illustrator each time. Yeah. Okay, so this one has Macbeth, Hamlet, The Tempest, Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, Othello, Julius Caesar, King Lear, As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, and The Merchant of Venice. And my favorite is Romeo and Juliet. It just always has been. I definitely haven't read his plays as original. Most of what I received was synopsises or like movies, or like I've read excerpts and things like that of Shakespeare, but I really never sat down and read most of his entire plays. But I mean, Romeo and Juliet, of course, is one of the most famous. And yeah, I just really love the story. I couldn't get into some of the other ones, honestly. I tried, but I haven't tried all of them. All right, here's Othello. But we use this actually for homeschool because I really wanted to give her like a little introduction to Shakespeare. And I love how they have the cast of characters. This is my favorite part because a lot of other authors do things like this, but they don't do the cast of characters. And I really love that. I really like how you get to see, who you're going to be reading about and things like that. And it's really nice. Okay, so that is Shakespeare. I don't know if I'll say my favorite. I did say my favorite was the first one, but this is like, I don't know. This is probably my favorite. I'll take it back because I love Dickens. I'm like, my goal is to read every novel by Dickens. I've only read, shouldn't say only because, let me stop rambling. But A World Full of Dickens Stories, 8 best-loved classic tales retold for children. The illustrator is Jannicke, Jannicke, and then Hansen is the illustrator. It's really beautiful. So, Great Expectations, one of my top 10 favorite books of all time. I read Great Expectations, I read Oliver Twist, and I read David Copperfield, and then I read A Christmas Carol. So I have this. I still need to do A Tale of Two Cities. Yeah, Nicholas Nickleby. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Okay. And then The Old Curiosity Shop. But yeah, so... And my daughter was also inspired to read Dickens after this. So now for 7th grade, she's going to 7th grade when I'm making this video, she wants to read Oliver Twist. So I like, again, how it's just like the Shakespeare book. It has a cast of characters. I like how Angela McAllister and or the publisher had their hand in that, where it's like very similar. Because I know some collections can be quite different, and but I like how there's like, they are in sync with each other. So I like how it has a cast of characters. I love that. And these are a little bit longer, because they're shorter. They're like, you have less stories. So these are a little bit longer, both the Shakespeare and the Dickens. Sorry, the light's going in and out, you guys. It was really bright when I started the video. I hope you guys can still see. Here's David Copperfield. Look at that. Oh my gosh. yeah, there's a lot of characters. They could not have fit them on the page. I forgot how many characters there were in the actual novel. It was like overwhelming. Took me forever to finish that novel. But yeah, look at this. And so they obviously, shortened it. And still, that's like a lot. So that's all of my Angela McAllister collection. Now she does have other ones. I want to get her animal one. Just like animal stories, and then there probably are other ones I'm forgetting, but I definitely want to get her animal one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate if you give this video a like. It helps out my channel, or a comment, or let me know your favorite Angela McAllister book that I've shown or not shown. And thanks so much for watching. Take care.